All right, testing 1 2, testing 1 2. I'm running this stream on while I'm playing PC Doom, so this is gonna be a little bit more difficult to test. I'm gonna go through my phone here, so just bear with me. Testing. Testing. Happy Halloween, everyone, by the way. And happy birthday-ish, Ronnie. Alright, greetings everyone. Welcome back to another stream. Let me go ahead and get Doom fired up again. I was just doing some audio tests there as usual. So, happy Halloween again, everyone. This is October 31st when I'm recording this. This is going to be the last Tuesday stream this month. It's going to be actually the last Tuesday stream for quite a while, most likely. All this past October, I did not just my scheduled Thursday stream, but I also did my I did Tuesday streams, and that is really loud for some reason. Let me turn that back down just for a little bit, a couple dB. But yeah, I did Tuesday streams as well all this month on YouTube, and so I hope you guys overseas in particular have enjoyed that, since a lot of you guys can't catch me on Thursday night. We did some more modern stuff on Tuesdays, you know, to mix things up. And I wasn't really sure what to do for Halloween. And last night I quickly decided Doom. So what we're going to be doing is we're actually going to be playing through the original 3-episode version of Doom. So normally when I stream Doom on my channel, it's the Ultimate Doom version, which has some modifications to the levels. It also has a 4th episode, Thy Flesh Consumed. Now, because we're using a source port, Z-Doom, Thy Flesh Consumed is still going to pop up, but we're not going to play it. The original 3 episodes, however, because I'm using the original 3-episode WOD, are still going to be like they were if you bought Doom back in the day before Ultimate Doom came out. So, for instance, no secret switch on, you know, episode 1, map 1, the hangar. And I'm not really sure what other differences there are throughout the course of the game, though. So I guess we're going to find out. I've also adjusted some of the messages that pop up, you know, like item pickups and things like that, to replicate more of the original Doom. Whereas like Z-Doom has this new style of messaging system. Also, I was gonna say something else, and I just, my mind completely blanked out. Oh yeah, that's right. I changed the sound system back to one that more so mimics like the old Ad-Lib and Sound Blaster setups. So normally when I play you know, source port Doom on my channel, it's with a more updated sound system. So you're gonna get a little more of an old school kind of vibe here, which I think will help mix things up, because I've done a lot of Doom on my channel, and so after a certain point it gets redundant. So yeah, this might give some of you guys a reason to watch still, even though you've probably watched a bunch of Let's Plays of this on my channel already. So hey, Sleeves, wow, we got a bunch of people in here that don't normally come here on Tuesday morning. So we got Sinful, Michael, Andy, Sleeves, Ronnie, Red Dwarf. So thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. So let me go ahead and jump into the game. I'm gonna actually be watching on my phone for just a brief moment. I want to see, you know, what the brightness is like and whatnot. I've had brightness issues actually when I stream, and I intentionally want it to be a little bit darker, because normally I play Doom, it's really bright, and so we'll kind of just see what it looks like on my phone. And I noticed that when you alt-tab out of this game, it always defaults the brightness back to what its default, even though your settings are different. Wow, and look at that. Yeah, and it doesn't even adjust the brightness on the stream itself. It totally adjusts it on my end, though. Let's see if the gamma changes it for you guys. No, gamma doesn't do anything. Let me alt-tab real quick. That sucks. I know I've had this issue before in previous streams back a ways ago. Doom would be too dark for people. Okay, yeah, I had a color correction filter applied as well. Let's see what it looks like after that. Because I personally want the game to be relatively dark. Normally I play Doom bright, and I feel like for October I want to play it dark. Yeah, that's darker. Okay. Alright, good deal. Alright, so let's get this bad boy started. Alright, so we're going to be playing this on Ultra Violence, and that's pretty much the only way to play Doom. If we finish this with some time left over, I might be tempted to actually, you know, give Nightmare a shot, since I don't think I've really ever tried showing that off on my channel. And if you guys think the game is too dark, I can totally, you know, raise the brightness up for you. But I myself, I wanted to try to play it with a little more ambiance. Yeah, because I honestly think Doom was probably originally intended to be played at least a little dark. And he's gonna go make some breakfast. Looks great there for Red Dwarf. Awesome, man. Yeah, I think it's actually brighter for you guys than it is for me, so it's actually really dark on my screen, but just OBS is weird when it's capturing this. Alright, so, you know, since I'm playing the original 3-episode version of Doom, there's some minor differences. So when Ultimate Doom came out, not only did you get a 4th episode, let me scoot the mic over a little bit too. Not only did you get a 4th episode, but you also got some slightly modified original episode stages as well. So on episode 1, map 1, there was a switch here on the Ultimate Doom version of the level. And it would basically open up this wall, which created a shortcut for the armor out there. And then the wall on the other side there would open up as well once you picked that up. So it was kind of interesting. And I don't know what other, honestly, I don't know what other differences there are between the original 3-episode version of Doom and the Ultimate Doom version. So if any of you guys know specific details, let me know. I wanted to actually look it up before doing this this playthrough, but I didn't have enough time, unfortunately. So Anthony, you are probably good enough to play on Ultraviolence. It's Ultraviolence is not, I mean, Doom's Ultraviolence difficulty is really not that hard by normal first-person shooter standards, or even FPS standards from the 90s, to be honest with you. I mean, just take your time. I don't think you'll have too much of a problem with it. Ultraviolence is really the only way to play Doom. I mean, my brother Michael Mackert in the chat there, he can even vouch. He recently ran through Doom and Doom 2, and even Final Dooms, all on Ultraviolence. And I wouldn't exactly say he's a master FPS player, but he got through them, and, you know, he could totally tell you that, you know, I think anyone could do it on Ultraviolence. But yeah, we're using Z-Doom, and so this is basically a source port which allows us to play Doom outside of DOSBox on a modern system. This is the best way to play Doom on a modern system. And, you know, it allows the game to be played in high resolution, so the resolution matches your display. So we're actually playing this at 1080p, 1920 by 1080. And it's got a whole host of extra options and things like that to improve, like, you know, the heads-up display and things like that. And you've got a lot of configuration options as well to keep things as faithful as you would like. But you're still using the original data. It's not, you know, it hasn't created any extra new assets or anything like that, like textures or enemies or anything like that, or sounds. It's still using the original WAD files, or where's all the data files. And yeah, this is a great way to experience Doom in the modern day. I don't recommend using the GOG or Steam releases because they use DOSBox, and while you can configure DOSBox pretty heavily, it's kind of a pain, and the default setting will have you playing the game at like 300 by, or 320 by 200 or 320 by 240 or something like that. So you can use the WAD files that come with your Steam and GOG versions with source ports. So if you have Doom on PC, download Z-Doom, download GZ-Doom. I'd say download both, depending on what you're trying to do. And just, you know, use the WAD files in those, and then you're pretty much good to go. It's really easy to get set up. It takes all of like 2 minutes, not even. It's just a couple of clicks and you're up and running. And then you can go through the Z-Doom menus. You got a whole host of menus here. And you can even incorporate mouse aiming and things like that if you want to try to make it even more modern. It's quite interesting. Wow, this is like super dark in my monitor, and I love it. This is awesome. I'm normally used to playing this so bright that I can just see down every single hallway. This is a wall that you have to shoot open, which is kind of interesting. There's a couple of walls like that throughout the game. Not a whole lot, but they do exist. Yeah, no, that's absolutely true. Absolutely true. You know, on PC Doom, you have save states. So we're gonna do, Halloween live stream. This is going to be our save file, and you know, this is how original PC Doom was as well. Granted, the save state system in this looks different. It pretty much operates the same as it did in classic Doom. You can pretty much just F2 anywhere, and if you want, you can F3 to reload it. And look, we're back here again. And this is how classic Doom and Wolfenstein 3D were, and Quake. Was that a trend started by id Software as well? How many games before this had quick saving and quick loading like that? I don't know, because honestly, Doom and Wolfenstein 3D in particular are some of the earlier computer games I'm familiar with when it came to I guess you could say the VGA era of computer gaming. Before that, I just had an even older system that had, you know, 16-color EGA graphics card in it. And most of the games from then were much more basic in scope. But yes, you do need, if you're going to use a Doom source port, you do need the original WAD files. Just one WAD file, depending on what you're trying to do. So if you just want to play Ultimate Doom, you just need the Ultimate Doom WAD file. And if you just want to play Doom 2, you just need the Doom 2 WAD file. You don't need both. But you probably want to just have both, because if you want to start downloading your own levels, downloading homemade levels, you're going to want both WAD files, because some WAD files, or some maps you're going to download require the Ultimate Doom WAD, while others will require the Doom 2 WAD, and so forth. I don't know if any actually require like the final Doom WADs, but that is an option to load up Z-Doom with the final Doom WADs. I guess it depends on what you're doing. You can also use these source ports with Heretic and Hexen and Strife. Those were all Doom Engine games. And I did a Let's Play of Heretic about a year ago, all 5 episodes, and I was using Z-Doom for that as well. Yeah, that level was really dark for me. Like I said, it looks way darker in my screen than it does for you. Like, that whole area leading up to the exit was pitch black for me, which was cool. Like, so dark, I couldn't even see the power-ups in the ground. We're gonna get a little fancy later on as well. If I get the Berserk power-up, I'll just start punching guys to death. So I can show you how that works. And I can show you how much easier it is on keyboard and mouse. And anyone with a computer can run Doom these days. Even Andy can run Doom these days. Andy probably doesn't think he can run Doom, but trust me, he can run Doom at a gazillion frames a second with these source ports. Having that keyboard and mouse control really makes a world of difference. An absolute world of difference. Which is why PC, while I enjoy indulging in the console versions, as you guys have seen me play a lot, PC is by far my favorite place to play Doom. First-person shooters in general, really, but Doom in particular. Doom and Quake, actually. There's a little bit of monster infighting going on. I'll explain the monster infighting later, but basically monsters can attack each other in this game. And from what I understand, maybe Ronnie can clarify this if he's out there, but from what I understand, the monster infighting was actually an accident. It wasn't actually intended to be something like a feature in the game. It just happened with how they had programmed the game, and they were just like, wow, okay, we'll just leave it in. I don't know if they had to do any tweaking to it or anything, but it's really an amazing feature because as you get better at the game, you start baiting enemies into attacking other enemies instead of you. So you can line up enemies like the imps, shoot fireballs out, where you can line them up with another enemy, and their fireballs will hit those enemies, and then those enemies will go and attack the imps that shot the fireballs out. And you can use that to your advantage, especially later on in the game when you've got a lot of bigger enemies like the Cacodemons and the Barons of Hell and enemies like that that take a lot of ammo to kill. So I could actually use the chainsaw. Risky against guys like the shotgun soldiers. Ronnie says it's intentional. Are you sure about that, Ronnie? Yeah, I've always heard that the monster infighting was just like a happy accident. Well, either way, monster infighting is still an amazing feature that you know, you might not notice on early playthroughs, or even for the longest time ever. I mean, I played Doom for 20 years before I really started to focus on monster infighting and actually using it as a strategy. It was more just a novelty for me for a long time, but when I started playing sort of like master level WODs like Sunder and Sunless and stuff like that, basically homemade WODs or map packs that are basically made for expert players, like insanely difficult WODs that will just blow your mind with how much crap goes on in those. Those really want you to get a handle on monster infighting in order to make them easier. And it wasn't until really playing those that I started learning it and using it in the base Doom game, and Doom 2 as well. Now, unfortunately, you usually can't have enemies of the same type attack each other, at least certain enemies. I noticed that hit-scanning enemies will attack each other, so your zombie soldiers will attack each other sometimes, but imps won't ever attack another imp. And just like another Pinky won't attack another Pinky, or I don't think Pinkies attack Pinkies, and Cacodemons definitely don't attack other Cacodemons. At least I don't think they do. I'm going to come here just so I can show you another secret. There's a secret wall right there that you can open. Romero and Tom Haw envision infighting from early on. Okay, well that's cool. I've always read that it was an accident. So maybe the information I read was wrong. But then again, there was also a lot of other things they envisioned that either didn't make it in the game, or they probably didn't put any effort into adding in. Remember, the original scope of Doom was much larger than what we ended up getting in the end. I guess the original idea for Doom was way too ambitious. Yeah, so that shotgun soldier actually shot the other one to the right of him, or to the left of him, technically. It was my right. So that was kind of interesting. Hello, Jartis. Yeah, no need to mock the SNES version, guys. That was a pretty impressive technical showpiece. It's not a great game to play, but trust me, back in the day, if it was the only way you could play Doom, it was still a great way to play Doom. Yeah, so normally when I play on stream or on a Let's Play, I skip the bonus stage, but we'll go ahead and go to it. One of the reasons I do it is just because I don't find it all that fun. I mean, who am I kidding? Every Doom level is fun to an extent, but it's one of my least favorite Doom levels, I'll put it that way. So in this level you gotta watch out for all of the hallways. There's 3 hallways that are open and enemies can come from. One of them is blocked by a blue door, just like that. So the ultimate goal in this level is to eventually get the blue key. We get the yellow key, and this is going to be an area where enemies are teleporting out. You notice how there's auto-aim in this game. The enemies are on a lower level than me, and the rockets are aiming towards them on their own. I was talking about that in another video recently. It was probably a live stream. I think it was actually my Castlevania 64 stream, talking about auto-aim. But when I think of auto-aim in old games, I think of Doom specifically, because Doom, you can't look up and down in Doom normally. Now, Z-Doom gives you the option to, but that's, you know, obviously not faithful to the original, so I always play with it off. But like, the enemies are higher than me and my bullets are automatically going straight up to hit them. And that's how the auto-aim system works in this game. And it's very good to try to get a handle on that. Like, there's a shotgun guy up there. It wasn't actually tracking him. Maybe because he's too far away. There we go. So you definitely need to get good with that if you're playing Doom and you're having a hard time with it. Alright, yellow door here. See if we can squeeze through. No, we can't. You guys gonna come down? You coming down? Come on. You know you... Oh, can they not go farther than that? Interesting. That's why God invented the chainsaw. Yeah, a lot of first-person shooters from back in the day, particularly the Doom-style ones, I had no idea the secret existed. Wow. Okay. That's... Holy crap. I actually... Wow. I had no idea that was a secret. I just never knew about that. I will admit, as much as I've played Doom over the years, I have not bothered to find every secret in the game, which honestly is kind of like personal sacrilege. I feel like I should, or I should have. Like, I had no idea this was a thing. Look at that. Wow. Like, I was just sitting in the corner chatting, and then I just go down into the ground. I'm like, wow, that's not supposed to happen. But yeah, basically a lot of, you know, old first-person shooters used auto-aim as well, because a lot of them also wouldn't allow you to look up and down, so that's basically how you compensated for enemies that were higher or lower than you, at least in the FPSs where the engine supported that kind of gameplay. Well, that kind of level design where you could actually enemies were actually higher and lower. It's not like, you know, Wolfenstein 3D where everything's on the same plane at all times. Got it. I usually fail in that on my first try. Alright, we're gonna switch over to the chain gun here. This is probably one of the most annoying parts, so hey, look, we can save it! Just in case. Crossing over onto this platform triggers this door over there. And the big issue is that there's enemies up here, and they can hit you even though you're down below. It's one of the shortcomings of the engine. All right. You can use barrels to your advantage as well. Barrels are always nice. If enemies are close to them, they do significant damage. So one thing I do is if I go into a room and I know where the barrels are and I see enemies huddled around them, I go for the barrels instead of the enemies, because then it has a better chance of actually hitting multiple enemies. So we go to examples like right here. Let's see. Bam! So one shot killed 3 enemies. It's more of a style over substance kind of thing. I mean, it's definitely useful, but it's very situational. Alright, so we got the blue key, and there's actually a secret that leads to that supercharge up there. It's so nice playing PC Doom, because I play a lot of console Doom on stream, and these rooms don't, some of these rooms don't even exist on console Doom. Like this room is just completely chopped out. It's just one big wall here with these 2 entrances, on console versions of Doom. Not counting the 360 and PS3 ports. Those are basically, you know, direct ports of the PC version. Might even be emulations with some kind of, I don't know, probably a source port actually. It's probably not using DOSBox. Man, I'm trying to figure out where I want to go. Let's come down here just so I can show you what's here. And this just takes you up here like that. Nothing special, but if you go the other way, you'll get the Supercharge or the Soul Sphere. It's got 2 names depending on the source you look at, and to get it, you have to actually flip that switch and then hop on this quickly, because this doesn't come back down. It's a one-time chance, one chance sort of thing. But this isn't. And let's see, this is the, again, we're playing the original 3-episode WAD. We're not playing, the Ultimate Doom WAD. So look at that. It's an actual swastika. Kind of a nod to, Wolfenstein and, other things. This was changed out in later versions. So, that's one of the big differences between the 3-episode WAD and the later Ultimate Doom WAD. So this is basically the exit area. We need to go get the yellow key. And there's actually a way to hop over there. I'm not going to be able to do it. But you can actually... I think it involves sort of like double strafing. So you've got like the strafe left or strafe right binds. But then a lot of times you can hold a separate strafe key, usually on the mouse, like mouse 2. And by pushing the mouse extra, I think you can actually get extra speed. And you could strafe onto this platform over here. I've only done it once, but I don't have my right mouse button bound to strafe right now, so I can't like get that extra strafe boost. That's what speedrunners use in order to blaze right through this level. It's still very tough to do, though. It's not easy. Speedrunning Doom's not easy either. I've tried certain levels, and there's so much that can go wrong. It's just oof. Yeah, so I was playing Jaguar Doom on stream, you know, back in September, about a month ago, and you probably noticed I never really used the chainsaw or the Berserk power-up, and the reason for that is it's much tougher with a controller setup. You know, you spend your time trying to fiddle around, switching weapons and whatnot. In PC Doom, I have much more control. I can switch to whatever weapon I want immediately. Now, I can do that in Jaguar Doom, but the problem with Jaguar Doom is that it's kind of a slow version of the game. You know, it runs at a subpar frame rate. I mean, it's still tolerable frame rate, but by PC standards, it's pretty subpar. And aiming is difficult enough as is, being accurate is difficult enough as is, and so you're better off just not taking the risk switching weapons if you don't have to in a console version of Doom. Same goes with the PS1 version, 32X1, you know, etc, etc. But on PC Doom, I'm extremely flexible. And later on, when we get the Berserk power-up, you're going to see me going through and just punching enemies as much as I can to save ammo, which is great. Yeah, the level bars are there for people that want to try to just have another objective. You know, there's people like myself that have played Doom probably 1,000 times, and having something in the game that says, oh, can you beat this time, gives you something else to shoot for. You know, it's just an added form of replay value. You know, it gives you something else to aim for in the game. So there's nothing wrong with that, but I totally understand why people don't want to play to beat times or speedrun or something like that, but the option's there. You know, the game tracks your time, and you know, it's just another option, another way to play the game, which is, the more ways to play a game, the better, I think. I really hate when a lot of games, old games, don't have, when they don't track your time, or they don't give scoring systems. You know, they don't track score, things like that, because it limits the game in other ways you can come back and play the game. So, like, you know, yeah, you could play the game first for exploration, but then later on, maybe you want to play for score. Doom's version of score is basically item pickups and time. Item pickup percentages and time. But it's always, you know, kind of aggravated me with games that don't do that, because then it's all just about the exploration. You know, if I want to go back and try to play the game and have it track my score, you know, I want to try to perform better in a scoring manner, I can't, because it doesn't track it, you know. So the more flexibility a game gives you to play in different ways, the better. Hey, Boss and Burf, how are you doing? We're going to flip that switch. We're going to come up here, just like so. And we're going to get this mega armor. And we're going to go ahead and pick up that supercharge. We're going to come back up here too. I think there's a box of bullets up here, which I don't actually need. Yeah, I don't need it. I'm maxed out. There's also a secret over here you can access. Just like so. It takes you back to the beginning. Not beginning, but it takes you back to this area. Actually, technically it does take you to the beginning. It also takes you to this area if you have the blue key, which is towards the end. And if you step into this star, it'll take you back to the beginning. So I love the level design in Doom. And subsequently Quake. Quake shares a lot in common with Doom in terms of its level design. Lots of you know, shortcuts and things like that. Level design choices that really connect the levels together and offer lots of flexibility in how you traverse the levels. You know, it's why I have so much respect for these old map designers, particularly the id Software guys, and you can hear it when you hear them in interviews and they talk about designing these maps and whatnot. It just, there was a logic behind all of this, which was fantastic. And that's how you can tell a really great first-person shooter from one that's not, is you can tell when maps have just been copy and pasted together or cut and pasted together versus maps in games like Doom that have been really well thought out and they stand the test of time. They're interesting to traverse through. They're fun. A lot of times there's multiple ways to go through them. You have branching paths, but not too many branching paths, you know. Just enough for there to be meaningful choice. Not have the player get too lost in the process. And flow naturally. And this room is pitch black for me right now. It's a shame because you guys can't really see what I'm seeing because of how OBS picks things up. But let me tell you, before I got these goggles, it was insanely dark. There's a few other things you can do here too. You can open up this middle wall, and then this is that blue door that we were talking about earlier. But this is our exit. And I find this really interesting because in the console versions of Doom, one or two of the Pinky Demons are basically stuck. You have to go in and kill them manually, whereas in this one, they trigger and they come after you. Red Dwarf, the Switch version of the game, has been shown to be pretty solid. I mean, it's basically locked at 30 frames a second, but it still looks amazing. Check out Digital Foundry. They've already done a good video on it, talking about it with hands-on impressions, and they've had really great things to say about it. Now, if you have an Xbox One or PlayStation 4, I think it's a no-brainer to get it on those systems instead of the Switch, because their frame rates are higher than 30. PS4 is 60, I think, for most of the time, and Xbox One is close to 60. Xbox One is how I first played Doom 2016, and I loved it, man. It was great. And even though I've got a pretty powerful PC now, with a decent GPU, and I played on that, and I can see the higher quality textures, it still looks amazing in my eyes on the Xbox One. And based on the videos I've seen on Switch, I think it still looks fantastic too. The benefit to the Switch is you get to take it with you. You can't take your Xbox One with you. You can't play it in your car, you know what I mean? Like, you know, if you're on a road trip with the family or something, and you know what I mean. The Switch is portable, Xbox One or PS4 is not. That's why you would buy the Switch version. Either the Switch is your main system, you don't have an Xbone or PS4, or you want to play it portable. The portable factor, it's a major reason to own a Switch. And I'd argue there's not as much reason to own a Switch if you're not going to use the portable functionality. Like me! I bought a Switch and I've barely used it since I bought it. Because I don't do portable gaming much. I'm always at home or I'm at work. There's not a whole lot of in between for me. Hey, Mark. Started a new Mario last night? Nice. I haven't picked it up yet. I was really tempted to on Friday, but I had other games I really wanted to play. And so I was like, you know, I'll just wait a few weeks. But I do plan on buying it, definitely. So this is kind of risky, going through and just chainsawing these guys. But it's one of the great things about some of these old first-person shooters is that you have a lot of choice on how you tackle the stages. And that's especially what a weapon like the chainsaw introduces. Oh, you got a weapon that's powerful, yet risky to use, but doesn't consume ammo? So when you get better at the game, you can start taking risks and start using weapons like the chainsaw, or your fists when you're berserked, or when you're powered up with a berserk attack, or berserk power up, sorry. Now, if you really want to play it safe in Doom, you really want to pick off the shotgunners, because they do the most damage, even from a distance. And especially up close. I could say the shotgunners are some of the most threatening enemies in this game. Should be a, yep. Radiation suit. Alright, so that's going to open up this door to the right here, just like so. And this is pretty much our last stretch for this level. One thing I like to do here is swap over to the rocket launcher, because this section can be pretty deadly. All three of these walls open up. And I'll blast the guys with the rockets like so. Now you don't actually have to flip the switch for that to happen. All you have to do is just walk in here. There's like an invisible trigger. But yeah, as far as Switch games, you only need an SD card if you plan on buying the games digitally. I see no reason to buy games digitally on Switch, personally, because most games, most big releases come on cartridge, and you know, that gives you the option to resell. If you don't like the game, you can get rid of it. If you if you drop $50 on a digital copy and you don't like it, you're screwed. You're stuck with it. Plus, it's eating up, you know, precious memory card space. But the small downloads, you don't really need an SD card for small downloads, because there's a good amount of space internally for a lot of the small downloads, but you don't need an SD card if you're going to play Doom. Now, you need one if you want to play multiplayer, but don't buy Doom 2016 for multiplayer. It's crap. So, yeah, the multiplayer is going to come separate as a download, but it's not that fun anyway, honestly. You buy Doom 2016 for the single player. It's one of those modern games where it's all about the single player. It's kind of cool playing this with the OPL sound setup. I'm used to playing it with you know, more modern, like, wavetable synths, which makes everything sound much cleaner. But this has like a weightiness to it that's kind of nice. Kind of takes me back to the old early 90s MS-DOS days, where Ad-Lib and Sound Blaster were still widely used. Sound Blaster 16, and things like that. Sound Blaster Pro. Yeah, I'm so used to playing the console versions, I always forget that this is open. And the console versions of Doom, this, you know, that opening is closed, so enemies can't shoot through. And I remember back in the day when I first played this on Super Nintendo, I kept dying in this room, and I had no idea why. And it was because enemies were up there shooting down at me, but I had never played an FPS to this degree before, or like this. And so I was getting wrecked by little things like that. Yeah, Cabal, I could see wanting to go digital for saving space, but I mean, the fact is that the Switch's games are so small. They're like the size of your thumbnail. If you have a carrying case, you can just put all your cards in one single case, and it doesn't really take up space. You're gonna need the case anyway if you want to, you know, use your Switch games portably. So... you know, something like a PlayStation 4 or Xbox, I can understand that, you know. But Switch, I don't know. Myself personally, I'm just not the biggest fan of giving a company like Nintendo my money digitally, because they've got a really bad track record of allowing you to use that stuff on future systems. And then they've also a really bad track record when it comes to losing said downloads, say via theft or fire or just a dead system. Say your system just dies all of a sudden for one reason or another. I'm gonna guess it's probably easier now to recover your stuff in that particular scenario than it was in the early Wii U days. But it's still one of those things where, like, it's not tied to an account. So, if, say, like, I've actually thought about selling my Switch, but what keeps me from doing it is I've already bought a bunch of games from the eShop, and I'm gonna lose all those unless I have another Switch that I can transfer them to. But if I'm trying to sell my Switch, that defeats the whole purpose of selling my Switch. And physical allows me to get around that. And then when it comes time to sell, I can sell the physical games too. Or like, you know, last week, I noticed I still had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or whatever. And I was like, you know, I've played this once since I had it. I bought it back in June. I don't know, it was more like April. And so I traded it in. It was still worth like $40, and so I put it towards like Dreamcast games I wanted. So I think being able to get rid of the stuff too, especially when it's still worth something, also has value. And if I bought digitally, I would have still dropped the $50 on it, but I wouldn't have been able to eventually trade it in. And you know, just something food for thought for people that think that, you know, having physical means lots of space. You could throw out the cases, or give cases to your friends, or donate them somewhere, you know? And then just store the cards. You know, Switch cards are insanely tiny. It's crazy how small they are for how much data they store. I mean, I guess it's really not that crazy when you look at SD cards and micro SD cards, but, you know, if any of you have been around for a while and have seen the evolution of technology, it's still kind of mind-blowing when you think about it. When I was born, floppy disks were like the size of, like, records, almost. Not 5 1/4, it's like the ones that are the next step up. What were they, like 7-inch, 8-inch floppies? I don't remember. Oh, they probably had 12-inch floppies at one point, for all I know. It's just crazy how compact it's all become, and it's great. Remember Neo Geo carts. Yeah, but Cabal, I'd argue if you're in a living situation where you can only pack everything into a backpack, why do you have a Nintendo Switch? You know, like, it sounds like you probably got more important things to worry about than a video game system. And it doesn't sound like you're in that situation anymore, because you mentioned something about a fiance or a wife. No, wife. Yada, yada, yada. And I totally get that. It makes sense. Yeah, I would like to get to a point where I don't get rid of stuff I buy, but I'm not really there yet. You know, with how tight money can get sometimes for me, and I still get the urge to buy stuff. You know, with running this YouTube channel and my Twitch channel as well, you know, the urge to buy stuff comes up more often than it probably normally would with me, because I'm like, oh, well, if I get these games, I can stream them or do videos, and you know, like I bought a bunch of Dreamcast games because I wanted to stream the Dreamcast game, or Dreamcast again, and I don't have a GDEMU yet. So the only way to play Dreamcast games right now is to buy them or to make copies, and I haven't really looked into the copy approach yet for Dreamcast specifically. Why did you guys... this is a topic we don't really need to get into then. I was going to ask why did you abandon your stuff, but I just honestly don't even want to know, because it doesn't... It personally doesn't make sense to me. To have to just get up and leave and not take anything with you. Or not spend time selling things or putting them in storage or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's... I'll shut up. But thanks for letting me know, Cabal. I assumed you had a Switch based on what you were talking about, so I apologize for that. Yeah, I understand why a lot of people go digital for sure. I mean, convenience is a huge factor. I love my Steam library because I know that even when if money runs out and I have to sell all my stuff, I'll always have at least some kind of computer, be it a laptop or a desktop, and I've got my Steam games there, and I can always just go back and access them. And I would feel probably differently about console digital stuff if, for one, it was cheaper more frequently, like on Steam, and I had those recovery options. Like, I could sell my Switch and know that years down the road, I'll be able to get a different system, maybe even a newer version, and be able to re-download all my stuff without worry. And that's what Steam is like for me. So Steam is really the digital service that I trust the most, and it's definitely the one that has served me the best over the years. You know, it's been over almost 10 years now on Steam, and every single purchase from the beginning 10 years ago is still there. And installed on multiple systems, for that matter. Microsoft's been doing a really great job with it as well, with backwards compatibility and things like that. It's not the ideal way, the way they're implementing it, so you have to re-download the games. Even if you have the original disc, you can't just pop the disc in and play it. Every game is wrapped with the 360 emulator into its own downloadable package, and that's kind of annoying. I wish they would just provide the emulator as like a separate app, and then you just put the 360 game and it just reads off the disc. So I feel like that could be something that's going to eventually go away. I mean, it's not going to go away anytime soon, but I don't have faith that I'll always be able to play those games. Whereas with Steam, I could imagine that service being around until I'm dead, you know? Nintendo, I've already, you know, spoken my words there. Sony, not as... I've run into issues with Sony in the past, with like limited amounts of systems you can link up with your PSN account and things like that. And then now recently, taking the PSP PSN store offline, I believe. From what I understand, you could still download those games if you go through the PC app, I think. If there's a PC... there used to be an old PC app you could use back in the day, like 7 years ago. All right. So episode 1 down. We're gonna do episode 2. Again, this is the original 3-episode WOD. And we're gonna actually skip those guys. And the reason I skip those guys in the beginning, normally I go and I kill them. But we have to go back there anyway after flipping these switches. So that raises this wall up. There's a couple of switches. There's a red key. So I try to line up the shotgun blasts, especially with the, you know, the zombie soldiers. Try to line up multiple enemies at once because the shotgun will cut through multiple enemies. The same thing with the imps. It doesn't happen as often with the imps, but you can cut through two imps with the shotgun blast. It might even be possible to do 3 with a really lucky shot. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to hope for the best here. Oh, holy crap, this is dark. Alright, I'm coming back through here. Yeah, so on my screen it's insanely dark. So I'm basically going to let these guys come through the teleporter. Hopefully the Cacodemon comes through as well. Yeah, that was like I couldn't see a thing. Wow, yeah, I can barely see any. I can't even see the columns. I mean, that's awesome. Normally I play Doom, it's super bright, no matter the situation. Alright, so we actually got the plasma gun. I'm gonna go ahead and use to blast through these guys. And that's why you want to go to that secret, because the plasma gun's one of the best weapons in the game. So here's an example of the monster infighting. Notice how that Pinky's going after that imp. You can do the same thing here, actually. So now that imp is going for the Cacodemon. There goes the Pinky again. Thanks, Pinky. Alright, so this next level is one of the more enjoyable levels to go through. Because you get a Berserk power-up immediately. And then you can go through the whole level punching enemies if you so choose. So here it is. So the Berserk power-up significantly increases the strength of your punches. This is a fairly large level too, which is kind of interesting. It's very easy to get lost here. It's one of those few levels in Doom that are pretty wide open compared to other stages. You know, lots of little nooks and crannies to get stuck in or end up in. So you can just keep holding on the button if you want, but it's not really ideal. You want to actually time your attacks with the punch. Otherwise, some of your punches are just going to whiff the enemies and you're going to end up taking damage. The thing about using the fist in this game is that it's really risky. And it's just that whole risk versus reward approach to game design that's going on here. That's why getting the Berserk power-up is so awesome. So it makes things a little more tense. You really have to think about where the enemy's projectiles are going, things like that. I can see a little bit of monster infighting going on there too. I could have just let the enemies duke it out. I thought there was a secret there. Alright, we're gonna come through here. And through here. And I can't see it all. So picking up the chainsaw, I think turns the lights on. Yep. And then we've got lost souls that come out. So I'm just gonna sit here. So lost souls are some of those enemies that can actually kill each other, just like so. There are some enemies in the game that can kill each other. But other enemies, if they get shot by their own projectiles or try to do melee damage on one another, it just doesn't do any damage. So if, like, cyber demons try to... if they're near other cyber demons and their rockets hit them, it doesn't do any damage. Alright, so there's a few other things we can do here. This area is actually kind of interesting. You have to walk where this path is on the ceiling, and it makes platforms rise up. And then this area over here has a secret. So coming down here reveals an opening. We have to wait. just like so. Alright, so now we can exit. Or we can come over here. Still haven't gotten a backpack yet. So the backpack extends your ammo. So like your bullets normally cap out at 200, your shells at 50, your rockets at 50, your cells at 300. The backpack doubles the maximum amount that you can carry. Oh, there it is. Cool. So now the bullets go up to 400, the shells go up to 100, the rockets go up to 100, the cells go up to 600. There's a couple more secrets here. And if we wanted to, we can go back and access some of these other doors. There's going to be, I think, a yellow door in here. Just like so. Which will give us our chain gun. Burf is only beaten the 32X version of Doom. And there's also this sort of back way you can go as well. Alright, where was it? Not over here. Over here, I think. We found ourselves like another yellow door. Yes. Another backpack, actually. It's so awesome playing the original PC Doom because so much of this stuff was chopped out of later conversions, later home conversions. You can see how the PC levels are much larger than the console levels. Alright, that's that, and now we can go ahead and exit. Here's our map. Nice, blue armor, or mega armor. And I'm sure I'm missing some secrets. Like I said, I don't know where all the secrets are. It's one of the things I've always been meaning to do, meaning to figure out. So this area, you want to make sure that you don't fall down to the left. I don't think this platform comes back down. So if you fall down to the right, there is an exit to the right, which is nice. Yeah, I still missed some secrets, apparently. Hey, see ya, Andy. Take care, man. We'll be doing Castlevania Legacy of Darkness on Thursday, Andy, so if you didn't get enough Castlevania 64 last Thursday, there will be more this upcoming Thursday. Alright, so the Berserk power-up only lasts for the remainder of the stage until you pick up another one. But fortunately, this level also has one right here. So we're going to punch our way through once again. Let the enemies do some of the work for me. actually a secret right here, which houses another backpack. In some console versions of Doom, that's where the BFG is located. For instance, I believe the Jaguar version of the game, which we actually played through on stream, you know, again, a month ago. It said archive is up there for anyone that wants to see that. There's a Baron of Hell. We're just gonna let him do some damage. There we go. Punching a barrel. Now that's risky. So I basically want to come back around here though, because there's going to be a plasma gun. Alright, I need to be careful now though, because my health is 60%, not as high as I'd like it to be. Oops, I turned caps lock on, which I have auto run on in this game, so I don't have to hold down shift or the default key to run. And by pressing caps lock, it turns auto run off. So I did that by accident real quick. Alright, I'm gonna come through here though because there is a supercharge right there. Red Dwarf for us, it happens on a Saturday. I don't remember when. Usually it's I thought usually it's a couple weeks after the UK. I would actually try to punch the Cyber Demon to death, but they don't give me a Berserk power-up, so that'll never happen. And I will say, punching a Baron of Hell to death without the Berserk power-up is tough as well. It takes like 83 punches or something like that. That's a lot of punches. And that's 83, assuming every single one connects. We did it on stream sometime last year. It was pretty funny. I was very, very close to dying by the time it was done. Yeah, so I figured if the level gives me the Berserk, I'll just use it, just to make things interesting. Oh, speaking of which... Is it here? No, I'm thinking of a different area. But I guess I technically could just run through here and get this early. Normally I get this later. Hey, we'll just punch our way through again. Punching this wall opens it. Of course, not really anything in there I need. So I got the partial invisibility power up right now, which makes it so enemies won't really notice you unless you've actively, you know, attacked or like you've touched them. Trying to unplug the internet's easy, Cabal. You just remove a cable. I'd say punching a cyber demon is way harder. Hey, I can live without the internet. For a little while anyway. A week until my next YouTube upload had to happen. God, that would actually be a blessing in disguise, not having internet for a week. Internet has absolutely... Wow, that was faster than expected. Internet has absolutely, you know, enhanced my life, but it's also been a detriment in certain cases. Some of that is just my own lack of discipline. Sitting on social media platforms way longer than anyone really should ever do. Things like that. Yeah, imagine what you can get done. Absolutely. The entire internet? Well, maybe that would be a good thing for a little while. Here's our yellow key. And normally I skip this area, but we're going to go ahead and play through it. So what I'm going to do is actually come down this way. There's a plasma gun in here, I believe. Yep. Cabal, it's not possible to unplug the entire internet. The internet consists of servers all over the world, network cabling, routers, and switches. Switches first, then routers. It is not possible to flip a switch and turn the entire internet off. Alright, so what we're gonna do is that. Alright, back to punching. Smack, 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 smack. Smack, 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 smack. Come on, Cacodemon, help a man out. Yeah, this is kind of dangerous because literally like one of these could kill me. Depending. The damage kind of fluctuates. Whew. That had me on edge. Yeah, sorry, Cabal. I thought you meant just unplugging your own internet. My bad. Like, I'm gonna go to my router and disconnect it. Like, nah, that's actually really easy. And entirely possible. Trying to think. Health. There might be some at the beginning. Oh, there's some. Alright, so what I wanted to do is come down this way, because I don't ever do this on my playthroughs here. Coming in here activates the doors to the sides. Opening up this door should take us around to the other door, I think. Maybe not. It's been a while. Oh no, going through this door opens it. That's right. And this just takes us behind to this area where it seems like you can't get back out, but this colored door will actually open up. Man, it's been a long time since I've been into that secret. And I thought... Where is it? No, clearly not. Come down here and it opens. Yeah, this should have opened up. That's weird. Oh, maybe it only opens up from one side. That might be how it works. I think that's how it works, actually. Okay, that's pretty much it. I know, you know, as usual, I'm probably missing some secrets, but that's gonna do it for us. You come down here, flip this switch, and you can either go back through this teleporter or just hop on this like I always do. And then stepping right here raises up this flooring for the supercharge. Don't get stuck in between, otherwise you're dead. Is this a punch run of Doom? It is not, but if I get the Berserk power up, I'm gonna go ahead and punch just to mix things up for you guys. How long have you all had the internet? For me, it's been since about, I want to say 1995, so about 22 years. I think it was 95. 95 or 96. Probably 95. Yeah. Yeah, so I've been around it for a long, long time. Alright, back to normal weapons. Although I think there is a Berserk power up here, too. So this map is actually how we get to our secret level. I'm gonna try to play out most of the map first before I jump into the secret level, but the secret level is in this area. Flipping that switch raises these stairs, and that takes us to that teleporter there, but we're not going to go there just yet. Because I'm sure you guys want to actually see the level. Standing here actually hurts you, which is interesting. It's one of the few places in the game that does that, that's not like lava or poison or whatever. Yeah, Red Dwarf. I mean, it feels like it's been a long time for me. I mean, if you only got the internet, access to internet 10 years ago, it probably still feels largely the same now as it did 10 years ago. It hasn't really changed much since then in that time frame. Now, 20 years ago, there's a much bigger difference. A very, very large difference, actually. In terms of, you know, the web browsing experience and file sharing and things like that. Alright, so barons are going to appear. And let me come here, because I thought there was a berserk power up here somewhere. Not this room. It is this room. Whew, that was some damage. Yeah, no, I distinctly remember what it was like without internet as well. And that was an even longer time ago, obviously. What I more distinctly remember was internet times pre-cell phone internet times. I really enjoyed those times more because people weren't always like, you know, you go out in the out in public and everyone's got their heads like glued to their phones. That sort of thing just didn't really exist back then. I mean, yeah, you had people texting each other, but that was the extent of it. You know, let's say 2005 or so. And then if you wanted to use the internet, you came home, you used it on a computer or a laptop. Now it's all these portable devices you take everywhere with you. Or they're basically attached at the hip. Most of our phones are, I'm sure. Alright, so this is the quote-unquote normal exit. But we're not going to exit here. Yeah, same here, Burf. I mean, it's annoying for one when people are like bumping into you because they're not paying attention to where they're going, but it's also just kind of depressing and disheartening. You know, you walk into a place and everyone's just trying to ignore everyone else. It's escapism, but on like a grand scale, you know? That's so deep, man. Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna go back to that secret exit. Ronnie. What? I was too busy looking at my iPhone being better than everyone else. Let's see, I'm going the wrong way. There we go. Alright, so if I remember correctly, this part... Let's see. Yep. Lots of lost souls. So getting to this secret exit is risky. I guess my big issue with its sleeves is, you know, aside from it just looking depressing when you're out in public, like just watching everyone else be, you know, absorbed in their screens. For myself personally, it's been permeating, you know, personal scenarios as well. You know, you have like a holiday get-together and everyone's just sitting there on their phones like 95% of the time. It's like, if you guys don't want to be here, why don't you just stay home? Alright, so no berserk power up on this level. I was hoping to just punch everything, but that's not going to happen. Alright, so that's everything on this level. There's actually a secret to exit. You have to open this right here. Yeah, I think I know exactly who you're talking about, Brandon. Yeah, if I am ever hanging out with friends, like, I never pick up my phone. Unless it's like the other day where I start getting 20 security text messages from Patreon because someone's trying to crack my account. Yes, more punching action. Doom, the punching in. Congrats, Anthony. Yeah, it's possible. I've seen it happen a couple times. It's very rare. 3 imps with 1 shotgun. Alright, I'm not gonna pick that up yet. Hey, Aztec! How you doing, man? Oh, look at that. Another one. Great. I'm trying to pick off these guys first. Stepping on that platform raises the doors. Like so. Right, so there's going to be actually a fake secret exit here. And what I'm going to do is actually save it. Oh, I don't think I can actually do it. I think it requires... Oh, no, it's just a yellow key. Okay. Yeah, so you can probably see why I wanted to save it. Lots of shotgunners. So this looks like the real exit, but it's not the real exit. Aztec finally got an SNES Classic. Very nice, man. Congratulations. We actually need to come back through here. You know, I had actually thought about playing Super Nintendo Doom for this stream. I was like, nah, I gotta do PC Doom. Especially if I can do the original 3 episodes. Alright, we're gonna pick this back up. Alright, I really want to go through this area while I've got the goggles. Because I know this place is going to get super dark once the lights go out. I might have to switch back to regular weapons at that point. Ooh, and there's another pair. Awesome. Alright, now I can go back to playing safe. Still haven't gotten the red key. I did something wrong. Oh, that's right. There's another door in there, I thought. Dark Souls, Doom Edition. Yeah, I can barely see. I'm gonna play it safe, guys. Sorry. I can't see at all, that's why. Yeah, OBS doesn't pick up the brightness correctly, so it's insanely dark for me, but it should look normal for you guys. We're close to it. Okay. Alright, that's that. Doom guy's gonna need some ice for that hand, yep. Dude, Nightmare Before Christmas is awesome though. Like, that's a great movie. Ooh, it's not possible to save that. Okay. That's fine. Actually a secret here. But you can't get to it yet. You need the red key. So when you're invincible like that, when you pick up one of those invulnerability spheres, you can't take any damage. So if you want to use the rocket launcher freely, that's a good time to do it. And this soundtrack is a lot more fitting for Halloween than I remembered. I can't see it all. I'm not going in there. So this map was significantly cut down for the console releases. Ooh, look at this. More punching action. Alright, so we got our blue key, which we saw towards the beginning. What was this? That's right. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and just drop down, because there's gonna be a yellow door here. Yep, just right there. Alright, now we're good to go. You want to make sure you don't stand in this center area. It actually hurts you. Yeah, very dark room again. We're still not gonna bother with it. We are gonna go through this secret though. I think it's just mega armor, if I recall correctly. Or not. It's something else. I don't even remember what it is. In the console versions, it's mega armor. You can go through here. In the Jaguar one, it's one of these spots. I think it's this spot right here. It actually teleports you to that room, and the red door will house some mega armor. Alright, we're gonna switch over. Alright, now we can exit. Oh, one of those things opened this. Okay. Nice. I'm still going the wrong way. You can tell how used to the console versions I am compared to this. Because I'm actually getting lost. There we go. Alright, final stage for episode 2. We will not be punching the Cyber Demon to death, unless you guys would like me to try. This isn't gonna work. Ow. Ow. I think it is entirely possible. You just need the rest of the area clear of enemies, and it would take you like an hour. Come on, man, come out. It's kind of hard to shoot you when you're in there. And that's it. Alright, 2 episodes down, 1 more to go. Remember, we're playing the, yeah, again, we're playing the original 3-episode version of Doom. I don't think there's really much difference between levels in episode 2 and 3. I could be wrong. If anyone knows, especially people watching the archive, post a comment below and let me know. I'm gonna do some research later. I meant to do it before doing this stream to see what exact differences there were between Ultimate Doom and the standard 3-episode Doom, aside from the first level in episode 1. Alright. So, because we're using the source port, it's Thy Flesh Consumed is still going to show up, even though we're actually using the original 3-episode WAD. So... So here's an example of more monster infighting. You can try to let the Imps take out this Cacodemon. Just like so. Hey, see you, Brandon. Good to see you, man. Enjoy your day off and enjoy the show tonight. So there is going to be a berserk power-up on this level, so we're going to be able to do some more punching. Speaking of which, let's go this way. Alright, there's our berserk power up. Bad demons, that's hilarious. Giblets. It's interesting. I thought that falling in here was supposed to lower these platforms. It's not doing it. That's odd. Alright, we can go ahead and exit. And this is the exit teleporter. You can actually walk around it. There's a couple little power-ups here. Alright, so there's gonna be a blue key around here somewhere. Thought it was here. Maybe I'm thinking console version again. Go figure. No, here it is. Yep, there it is. Okay, Kalma. I am live. I am here. In the flesh. Alright, so let's see if it's the same as other versions. Yeah, invincibility, that's what I thought. Hey, see ya, Sleeves. Thanks for tuning in, man. It was good seeing you on a Tuesday morning. Alright, so this is actually where, I believe, where the BFG is. It's over here. Bam, finally got the BFG. Back to punching. Wait, crap, I didn't get a Berserk power up. For some reason I had a Berserk power up that entire time. I was like, this is taking longer than I expected. A lost soul. That could explain me sometimes. And back to the shotgun. Chain gun over here, we don't need it. There's gonna be another Baron behind these columns. Actually, I'm pretty sure there's going to be another Berserk power-up, though, so let's go get that. Yep, it's definitely Halloween here. Cats and Taco, hello. There's our Berserk power-up. Ooh, that hurt. Down to 25% health. Let's backtrack a little bit. There's some health. Thanks, Ronnie. I didn't even see that. I don't even know what it was now. Thank you, sir. Oh, nice. Well, thanks for tuning in, Kama. I'm glad you enjoy the videos. Thank you very much. It's always nice when you mega lurkers out there pop your heads in and say hello. So, but it's awesome that you guys enjoy the stuff. Oh, man. Cabal found this due to Castlevania. Yeah, I think a lot of people find my channel either through A, Doom, or B, Castlevania. Quake is another one too. I've done a lot of Quake videos. Hello, Mr. Noodles. So he so he basically announced he was a troll and said he was going to troll, and then he basically gave you time to just time him out. That's awesome. Well, thank you, troll, for being so considerate. That is quite the considerate troll. A considerate troll is a good troll. Man, they just want me to be punching up a storm in this playthrough. They're just like, yeah, guns? What are those? You don't need guns. Guns are for pansies. That was kind of epic. I can never be manly then. I'm getting lucky with some of these though, like a lot of times they'll interrupt your punches with fireballs. Especially in a situation like that where you can't really dodge. Yeah, there's definitely been some oddballs in my streams over the years. That's for sure. No, that's true. There's plenty of great oddballs. But there's some really questionable ones too. You know, the ones that we had to ban specifically is what I'm referring to. There we go. BFG. That I'm not actually gonna use. Because I'm too busy punching everything. Look at that. Thanks, Pinkies. You're the best. No, you're not. I hate you. Sinful wants me to say sinful. Good to see you're still out there lurking, man. I know this ain't Dark Souls, but, you know, it is what it is. Alright, so we're gonna grab this invincibility power up. Just like so. And this is what I care about. Whoa! Where'd you come from? Alright, making progress. Episode 3, map 5. Whole lot of things we can do in this level. Everyone's been calling the Kaka Demon a flying meatball all stream. Okay. What was that one, Ronnie? Ronnie's a moderating force to be reckoned with. Alright, so this is the one we need to go through, is the one that's flashing. But I know some of these will also open up these areas. You can open up all 4. I guess it's not going to happen again. Here's the weapon everyone's been waiting for. Ooh, more punching. I have to say, I've never punched this much in a single session on Doom. So I hope you guys are entertained. I still don't have the blue key, though. There we go. This is where I need to be. Sorry, Taiga. Yeah, we've made pretty good progress. And I do not think I will be doing episode 4, because the intent was just to do the original 3-episode release. Yeah, if I ever do Tuesday streams, I try to do them around 8:30 in the morning. It gives me a little bit of time after work. And if I can do streams in about 3 hours, it still gives me a little bit of time after the stream too, before I have to go to bed, because I work overnight. Hello, Robin. It's like I kind of want to try to open up that last little compartment. There we go. It's the one with invincibility, go figure. I can't tell which one is the blinking one. There it is. Yeah, chainsawing a Baron of Hell is very risky. Well, normally I respond to the hello, but if you ask for a response, then you should probably get the boot. Ronnie, go ahead and give him the boot. Thanks, man. Oh darn, I didn't respond to a hello immediately within 5 seconds. Woe is me. So, Doom, that's a thing. Yeah, and if he actually waited a little while, they would have actually said hello, but, you know, I was kind of in the moments, in the action, so... I don't have a third eyeball popping out of my head, so it's a little difficult to read chat while I've got demons surrounding me. If you know what I mean. But whatever. It's not my loss. I mean, you definitely want to be at a stream where, you know, the streamer's interacting with the audience. You know, it's hard for me to watch streamers that aren't interacting with the audience at all. But what people have to realize is that streamers are people, and they're not multitasking monsters. I try to do my best, but... And the second someone starts feeling entitled, I just give them the boot. I don't even care. That's how I look at it. I owe nothing to you. I'm doing this for fun. So thank you folks out there that are currently watching and aren't entitled. You're just enjoying your stay. You guys are cool. Thank you. I mean, honestly, one of my downsides as a streamer is that I might be too interactive. You know, I might, like, I read all the chat that goes by, and I try to respond to most of it, if not all. But that kind of gets me involved in conversations I probably shouldn't even be involved in. Streaming is it's a juggling act, that's for sure, as well. It is a juggling act. Trying to respond to people in a timely manner, trying to figure out what you should and shouldn't respond to, trying to play the game. You know, well, preferably. That's something a lot of people have problems with, trying to stream and actually play the game well. It's work. Wolfenstein 2? Cool. How are you enjoying it, Ronnie? I watched GGG Man's video on it, and I wasn't too impressed, honestly. Well, thanks, Kalma. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Alright, let's see if I can... I don't think I can do this, yeah. But we are going to take that exit. That's the exit to the secret stage. We're going to come in here first. Okay, there's some biosuits, which is good. What did I get hit by? That's the second time that happened. Like, I was walking through the fire, and I got hurt, but I had the radioactive suit. That is so weird. I don't see any hit-scanning enemies, though. Oh, wait, no. I know where they are. Well, I thought they were up there. Anyone? I don't know, that's weird. Super weird. Hey, Wayne! And Drilly Press. That's right. Going in there takes us to here. Alright, so what I'm going to do is grab this supercharge, and we're going to go back to the secret area, and we're going to try to first save it, because I don't trust myself. But you can turn around. Oops, that was too far. Just gonna reload it. Just like so. I'm pretty sure you can run off to the side, but you might need to use the super strafing trick. The radioactive suit allows damage through sometimes. Really? Huh. I didn't know that. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not too worried about Wolfenstein 2. Honestly, I'm not going to buy it anytime soon. I still have to play through the first two. New Order and Old Blood. And the cutscenes and stealth sections are kind of a turnoff for me anyway, so... So this is a really awesome bonus stage. Basically, you play through the original first level, but then it opens up significantly. And you end up fighting a cyber demon halfway through. Oh yeah, the overworld maps in Doom are great, Sinful. Alright, so here it is. Ow! With all the BFG shots, I thought he was certainly gonna die in just a couple hits, but that wasn't worth it. Alright, you know what? I don't even need to do any of this. We have to come back anyway. Sinful's got water heating, guys. Remind him. He's probably got a bread baking too. Bread maker. All right, that's it. Yeah, so I really enjoy this this secret level. You know, I don't really have an issue with the boss fight of episode 2, but it is a short map. I like this one where you actually play a level, and then you have to fight a cyber demon, and then you got to work your way back through the level. I always thought that's pretty cool. And there we go. Well, maybe you'll get lucky, Ronnie, and you'll get to ban another 3 before the stream's over. Hey, Carl, welcome to the stream. X-ray meatballs. There's multiple types of meatballs in this game. Alright, so this is our last real level, and then we go to the final level, which will be a cakewalk. And then that's pretty much it. Alright, so we're gonna cut through here. It's gonna open up this door. Oh, glorious rockets. Rockets of destruction. There's our blue key. I'm gonna go ahead and explore this area. Normally I just skip right through it. There's so many different ways to go. Wow, this is the correct way. Well, never mind. And we can go through this teleporter. And, check out this way, maybe? Yeah, I could use a pizza right now, too. I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. Do we need a yellow key for this part? That's the exit, actually. Yellow key for that one too. So we can actually, we have to go over there, so we're gonna go to this teleporter. There we go, flip the switch and then fall down, because there's a staircase. Now we can start going to those yellow doors. But what I'm going to do is come back here, because I feel like I missed a blue door, which is this one. So a BFG shot, if you do it up close to a Baron, you can actually kill it in one hit. You gotta be close, though. Stuffed crust. Alright, we're on to the last level. Carl had pizza earlier, but it was very disappointing. It must have been a beginner baker or something. So normally you can kill the Spider Mastermind in just a couple of hits. But I'm gonna take my time. Okay, never mind. So much for taking my time. Alright guys, well that is pretty much it. Like I said, I'm not going to play the 4th episode. I just kind of wanted this to be the original 3-episode romp, and it was, because we used the original 3-episode WAD. So we got some differences, at least early on in the game. Again, I don't know if there are any differences later on in the game, but the early parts do have some differences for sure. And so I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I need to get to bed within the hour, so if I played episode 4, I'd end up getting like 5 hours of sleep tonight before work, so this was doomed done quick. Yeah, much ripping and tearing was had during this stream. We ended up punching our way through about 50% of the game. Casual annihilation. Actually, you know what I will do is I wanted to try this before I end the stream. We'll let the ending roll out, and then I'm going to start a new game real quick. Yeah, Carl, we started over 3 hours ago. Hey, no problem, Red Dwarf. So there's the ending. So when you originally bought Doom back in the day, this is where it ended, but then later on, they released Ultimate Doom, which had a 4th episode. But what I'm going to try is Nightmare real quick. This isn't going to last very long. Don't mind the dropped frames, guys. We're getting a lot of dropped frames right now. This happened at the exact same time last week as well. I'm waiting for the frames to kick back up before I start. Hey, see ya, Cabal. Yeah, guys, I don't know what's going on. Like, I was gonna... Yeah, YouTube's like, nope, you're done. And, we just keep dropping frames like crazy. And the exact same thing happened last week, around the same time. But what I wanted to do is, try to have a quick go at Nightmare mode, which would only last a few minutes, because we'll get wrecked. But I thought it would be a fun way to end the stream. Come on, it's still dropping frames. Yeah, YouTube's, it's... Alright, let me know if, you know, things come back up and they're stable for you guys. Nope, not happening. Alright, well, I'm officially out, guys. I guess I'm not going to be able to do this. YouTube's not cooperating right now. It might not even be YouTube. It could be one of those trolls doxing me or something. For all I know. Yeah, that was a good time to end the stream for sure. But it is weird because, you know, it happened around the same time last week. And, yeah. Yeah, it's not having it. Alright, guys. Well, I'm out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I apologize it had to end this way. I wanted to do some Nightmare runs real quick before ending, because that would only take a few minutes. But it looks like we're not going to be able to. If you guys want to see more Doom streaming, I stream a lot over at Twitch. I'm going to get back in the swing of things with Doom over there soon. So if you want to see some Nightmare stuff, I'm going to be trying that in the future. So, but yeah, thanks again for watching, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed all the videos for October. This is officially my last October video for, well, October. Well, not counting the Let's Play is going to be publicly posted on Sunday, but Patreon backers already got it this past Sunday. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the streams, and you know, it's good seeing some of you folks on the Tuesday morning stream since you guys aren't able to check out the Thursday stream. So, but yeah, good seeing you all. Take care and have a good night or day wherever you are.